I would lose 30 pounds, gain 50, lose 20 pounds, gain 40. Like, it just was such a roller coaster ride. And something clicked after my divorce that I was just like, I'm going to do it. And then also find your why. Like, why are you doing it? And so I had to transform my negative why into my positive as I was doing my healing. And that to me was really, it was huge. And I seen like a huge amount of progression after that.
Hey guys, welcome to the Two Thumbs Up podcast. It's been a couple weeks. Got you back here today. Thank you for tuning in. Looks like we're getting on YouTube as well. So we'll have these on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Check us out. If you haven't tuned into the podcast before, this is a conversation about, I would say it's a conversation about possibilities, but also about nothing. But inside the nothing, I see contains all that there is. So I love these conversations. My dear friend Rochelle is on the podcast today. I'm glad we're doing this.
Yeah. Super exciting. And super
exciting.
Out of my comfort zone.
What is that? So you and I have been friends for a number of years. Mm-hmm. We ended up on this amazing trip one time.
Yes.
In St. Thomas with a group of friends, and that was wonderful. And you've inspired me because I know some of you're like, well, I mean, you truly have, because of what you walked through and what you've experienced and the journey you've been on with your own health and all of it. Truly, it's. But you said that a moment ago, and I've heard other people say this, that this sort of thing is out of your comfort zone.
Very.
What would you? What is it about this that you would say is out of your comfort zone?
Well, it's recorded for one.
Uh-huh.
I guess just on the spot, on the spot. Like I can't fumble. I can't. All the stuff.
I have spilled my water on myself. I have, we fumble.
Yeah.
That's the fun. So, okay, what else? What else would you say about being on the spot?
I don't know. I guess I probably just need to relax and let it go because I don't have to have the perfect answers. But, part of me is like, what if I don't know the answer or I have a stupid answer or,
Thank you for your, I get that. And it's interesting you say that because my intention here is to make you feel right at home.
Right.
And so, but I do get that on the spot, out of my comfort zone thing. And how is that, would you say, and thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable that way, truly. But I can see, I want to kind of go down a little path here with you.
Okay. Because
of what you just said about perfection, or fumbling, or not having the right answer, or whatever that means to you. Mm-hmm. How is that sort of a reflection of your life, previous life, how you've seen yourself, how maybe that very idea has affected your health, your choices in history, your choices now? Do you see the parallel?
Yes, absolutely. And that's something that I've worked on a lot over the last couple of years, and it's been taken me on a journey of with my insecurities and why I have those insecurities and how to overcome those insecurities and, calming my nervous system and everything else that is associated with that. So,
and this is a vast, deep thing for you. Mm-hmm. Can we roll back a little bit in time?
Sure.
For a moment in your life?
Sure.
You were married for a number of years.
16 years.
16 years. And you have how many? You have a couple boys?
3 kids, 2 boys, 1 girl.
Yeah, that's what I got. 2 boys, 1
girl.
Yeah. And so, you went through that experience and then you had experiences before those people showed up in your life, right? And the patterns that you maybe have developed as a young person, how did those move forward into your relationship, your marriage, those patterns that because there's a high likelihood I'm assuming that that these self-doubt things you've experienced, or second guessing, or not wanting to fumble, came from a history,
childhood.
Yeah,
Probably,
wherever
yeah.
that is. And
Yeah.
that is the way it is with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then you went through these other things. Isn't it funny, interesting how there's a point where you're like, oh, I got this all figured out, and I'm going to jump into this thing called marriage, and and then it turns out how it turns out. Right? So how those patterns of insecurity, you're dealing with them. How did they affect that time when you were married, and what do you see now looking back, maybe even accountably?
Yeah, I mean, I've dove deep into that and have really reflected on my marriage, the time and who I was. And it's interesting just how how it has affected my life and who I was. And I look back now, I don't even remember who I was back then.
Different person.
A totally different person. I don't think my ex-husband really knows who I am anymore. Like, I don't see him a lot. We don't have a lot of communication. No reason to. Our kids are grown, but I think if he knew who I was now, he would be surprised. I'm not even remotely the same person I was.
You've come a long way.
I feel like I have.
You have.
Yeah, I feel like I've done a lot of healing, especially in the last 5 years. I've done a lot.
Yeah.
So
what was it back then? Because I know you've dealt with, and I'm not going to put any words in your mouth, but just from you sharing some things with me, body transformation. Like, where did you come from with that compared to where you are now?
I guess I'll just go back to my time. I think I, just kind of lost myself in a marriage and being a mom, and food was my comfort, and did not have a great marriage. And I always just turned to food, and food was my best friend. So didn't realize all of that until after my divorce, and I'd tried several diets during my marriage. I would lose 30 pounds, gain 50, lose 20 pounds, gain 40. Like, it just was such a roller coaster ride. And something clicked after my divorce that I was just like, I'm going to do it. And it was kind of can I cuss?
Oh, please. Cussing is wonderful.
It kind of was just a big fuck you to my ex-husband, because there was a lot of verbal abuse as far as being fat and lazy, and comments about my body and stuff. And so when I first started that journey, it was a big fuck you to him. Like, I'll show you that I'm not lazy and that I can do it. And I don't know, something clicked, and I just was successful. And I went hard and lost a lot of weight quick, and in a very unhealthy way at first, because I didn't know how to do it healthy. I think I did slim fast shakes and just starved myself. And so within, I think 3 months, I'd lost like 50 pounds, and just kind of went from there. And as I went on, I started studying about hormones and, diet and balancing your diet and what I needed. And
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So you had this, it's beautiful. And honestly, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And sometimes excising yourself from a situation and saying, I'm going to show you, that's an empowering thing. Sometimes it's like a little springboard.
It was.
It's like, boing, here I go. Watch me fly, right?
It was very empowering.
I love it. You've gone down this health journey. You're still learning a lot about yourself. And, I'm sure you've looked into lots and lots of different things. But when you chose to do it your way, right, as opposed to, and their information probably assisted you, but you chose to do it your way, right? And what would you share with people about that are searching for, because it's almost human nature to look for the guru, look for the and then we have social media combined with that, right? Like, or we look to this entity or organization for the answer, or this doctor, or this idea. And to me, see how that oftentimes becomes fragmented, right?
Yeah.
So what I see you describing is you're taking these ideas and then you created the wholeness for yourself. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had to get to a point where I had a healthy why, not a, negative big F you to my ex-husband. I had to, why am I doing this? And so as I went along and doing the healing, I was able to figure that out. I had a lot of people reach out to me. I lived in Nephi at the time, small town, and a lot of people had seen me at the gym and had seen my, my transformation, and were like, what are you doing? Can you help me? And my advice to them was, people would go to the gym and say, I hate to go to the gym. I don't like people looking at me. And I'm like, I was the same way. Just go and don't make eye contact with anybody. Pretend like you're the only one there. And then also find your why. Like, why are you doing it? And so I had to transform my negative why into my positive as I was doing my healing. And that to me was really, it was huge. And I seen like a huge amount of progression after that. So.
Oh, I love it. So you shifted. I love my friend, Dr. Wayne Dyer. He's a dear friend of mine. He passed a few years ago.
Yes.
And he always would say, when I change the way I look at things, the things I look at change, right? So that's what I hear you saying with your why. It's like I changed the way I'm looking at myself. So the way I'm looking at myself has changed, right?
Yeah.
Instead of, what's your ex-husband's name?
Wade.
Instead of having this experience with Wade, you chose to have the experience with yourself.
Yeah, because really, ultimately, it wasn't Wade's fault that I was overweight, take accountability. It was my fault, my experiences, my past.
Oh, I almost thought you were going to say the word, your past.
Yeah.
Could you also call that your pattern?
Yeah, absolutely. It was absolutely a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a heavy word, we call that a habit. I don't use that word. So you were in this pattern, you were in this vortex. We'll use Dr. Joe's stuff since we were talking about it. We're in this vortex, right? You were in a vortex of a pattern.
Yeah.
And, there's all kinds of fancy words for that called neuroplasticity and, all these different, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You were in a thing. Right? And Wade was in the thing with you. And then the children were in the thing with you. Right? And then someone said, I'm going to jump off this ride, right? You, him, maybe both. Right? And you're like, oh. And so to me, there's such beauty there, because then you can look at the experience with Wade with the utmost gratitude.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It is. Because it's either a stumbling block in the path of Rochelle's experience called life, right?
Right.
Or it's like, how many times in your life did you see that as an immovable, insurpassable thing?
Yeah. Long time.
But now how do you see it?
Well, I wouldn't be where am today without those experiences. I probably wouldn't have gone down the journey of healing physically, emotionally, mentally, all the things, had I not gone through those experiences.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
I express my gratitude to him for that.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh. See? It's perfect. I love it. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And I love that, because that when people say, when you say those things, I see these little bridges. There's connecting your heart to his heart, healing the vortex, calming the energy, realizing that's in of itself, to calm that energy is healing. It slows. It's parasympathetic. It becomes harmonic. It's music to me. And there's this beautiful painting, or this Do you see all of that? Mm-hmm. Then it's just this, I love it. And to me, what you're describing is the same thing that happens as an entrepreneur or in relationships, or it's like, well, I know how to make music now. And it's my music. See?
Yeah.
And now that you hear your music, Dr. Dyer used to always say this, don't die with your music, it's still inside you.
I do remember him saying that.
And I'm like, I used to go, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
Until you walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Yes. And you're like, how am I going to pick myself off the canvas this time?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the clouds open. And there's some sunshine. And you called it your why. I love this because I'm seeing this, how you're describing this. And it actually matches the color of your eyes. There it is.
Yeah.
It's the greatest. So you've had these beautiful experiences, and you've learned a lot about yourself. A couple months back, or maybe it's been a year or more, I saw you at the gym.
Yeah.
And you felt like, you'd shared with me, can we talk about this?
Yeah, sure.
You talked with me about how you feel like you've kind of described to me how you said that day. You remember? And you're like, oh my gosh, something's off.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. I think, well, I'm 53 years old and hormones, menopause kicks in and everything was just out of balance. No matter what I did, I'd gained, probably 30, 35 pounds over the last couple of years, and I couldn't get it off. And no matter how hard I worked at the gym, no matter how good I watched my diet, I just could not get it figured out. And it was just the most frustrating thing. I think I got pretty emotional at the gym talking to you about it because it was just so frustrating to me, and just fear of going back to where I used to be, So you had referred me to a friend of yours, a doctor, and my experience with him was great. Had great results. He put me on just the perfect supplements and balanced my hormones and got me off of thyroid medication that I didn't need, that I had been put on. And so, everything since then just
it's fascinating
great,
because it's like, would you say that, you're in your music. I'm using music as an analogy because I love music. You love music?
Okay. Oh, I love music.
So you're in your music, and it's like, oh, I'm finding my music here, and then all of a sudden, the body shifts a little bit. Mm-hmm. You call it hormone, whatever. Well, like all the words, right?
Yeah.
Menopause, whatever. It's a thing, happens, right? And then you have this response about, I'm just going to work harder, and then it's not working, so the fear kicks in.
Yeah, everything that I'd done previous wasn't working.
And so the music started to be a little bit, where's my rhythm here again, right? Mm-hmm. And what's it feel like? You're in momentum, moving forward, taking care of yourself, getting strong, and then all of a sudden the momentum shifts. What is it about that where you just sort of lose your way again?
Yeah, I think slip back in your limited beliefs into play, and
the old pattern
sneaks back in. Yeah.
The fear creeps in.
Yeah.
And then what happens internally to the body?
Physical, like it's physical. Yeah.
Yeah, your nervous system shifts back to this fear state, so then you get this cortisol dump.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then you're storing food as opposed to burning it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like this cycle. But because you've had the experience with leaving the experience with weight and shifting that, you knew there was a way out. There's got to be a way. There's always a way. Right. So, and you went down this new road. or a different, just maybe you just took a little bit of a right turn or a left turn, or maybe you just did a little veer and say, oh, here's the rhythm of my body again. That's what I hear you saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I know I get a little weird, but like I can see this, like, oh, there, because I've experienced it with my own body. Like, oh, there's your rhythm again. Do you feel it, Todd? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. And so I love that you're learning to listen to the music of your body, hormonally, metabolically, emotionally, spiritually, neurologically, biomechanically. Like I see you over there on the doing your thing, and to me that's music. Do you see my analogy?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you say for you is the ahas of, or the like, oh, when you get off of your, it's like, I'm out of balance here. What is it about you that says, I'm going to find the way again? What is it, would you say?
Well, for a long time, well, it's been since I've lost 150 pounds, it's been 15 years.
Did you hear that, folks? 150 pounds. So yeah, good on you, love.
But I have lived in fear over that time that I can't go back. I can't go back. I can't go back. Like I've been somewhat paranoid to the point where I went too hard at the gym, and so I had to find a balance. But because
you end up getting at the gym, I think remember talking about that was some sort of injury.
Yeah, I just have had some injuries
something.
with tendons and stuff like that. So yeah, I think overcoming. I'm not there yet because I still have that fear of like I have to get up and go to the gym today because I can't go back. I can't go back. I promised myself I would always work out, that I would never go back. And so once I start gaining weight, it's just this fear sets in of, oh shit, I'm going back. So try to overcome the mindset of, it's okay. It's a slump in the road. I just have to figure it out and get back on track and, find my music again, get back in rhythm.
So resilience.
Yeah.
Committed.
Yeah.
When there's a bump in the road, you find a way.
Yeah.
Right? You actually have learned to listen to your body.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me that when people have not listened to their body, because at times I have not listened to mine, and I ignore it, and it's like, I could go back. I won't give you my whole history of all the things, but there is a point where, in my life, in my experience, years and years and years, I developed a disdain for it. You know what I mean by that? It's disdain for this body. And in the disdain, though, and the desire to live, somehow I haven't found the way, but I'm finding my ways through it. And so that's why I love these conversations, because I see you finding your ways through it, and being committed action, trusting, which AKA faith in the process. It can't be told to somebody. I can't tell people this, to go do this.
Yeah.
It's still self-dependent. It's still self-choice made, right?
Yeah.
I am going to create something different in my life and be committed to it. What is it you feel like where people, and let's talk about for you. You've seemed to have found ways through resilience. What would you just share with people about, and whether they take this as great information or not, what is it about finding that rhythm again, listening to and just really going for it, and never selling out again? And when you do sell out a little bit, it's, I'm not going to. My wisdom says I will find the way. What is it about that process, would you say?
I don't know. I don't know I would say. It's just been mindset for me, and really learning to love yourself.
Now we're getting something.
Yeah.
Right?
Like self-love, that's been a huge journey for me. It's a process. I hated myself, hated my body, and just really getting in tune with my body, learning to love myself regardless of the, extra skin and the, I mean, you when you're heavy as I was, and then you lose as much weight as I did, you just expect when you're doing it how good you're going to look, and then it happens and you don't look as good as you had thought you would. So it's loving yourself regardless of those things. So
what a powerful way to live life.
yeah.
And I love in the first and great commandment. And I don't even know if I like the word commandment, because it sounds like you gotta love thyself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you described to me just there, is that.
Yeah.
That's why masters like Jesus would say something like that. Mm-hmm. Love thyself.
Yeah.
And in so doing, everything unfolds from there.
Yeah. I still have to remind myself, I choose me. I it's a daily thing for me. I have to choose me and have to remind myself I'm choosing me.
How is that, all of these things you're describing, assisted you with your adult children and relationships with them, would you say?
I would say as a parent, I wish I could go back. If I knew and felt everything that I do now back then, how I could guide them and teach them and help them better. Mm-hmm. So, but in their, adults, they're all grown and gone out on their own. I hope I'm still able to offer them, sound advice that they can really move forward in life. And
have they, what have they said about your transformation and your...
They've super supportive and super proud of me. And I ran a half marathon a few years back, and they were all there on the road cheering me on, and then at the finish line, and just telling me how, proud they were. And so, yeah, they've been really good.
Yeah. So, can you see how, being in the present and sharing your present experience with them literally heals the past?
Yeah. Yeah. They've shared with me multiple times that, how my experience has helped them through life, and the hard times, they can look and see things are hard, but you can still do it.
Yeah.
So
I love it. And, with, where do you see yourself going? What is your, there's a lot of still life to live and a lot of experiences to have. What are you creating in your life, and what do you see for yourself?
I just see, happiness. I'm trying to create as much happiness as I can, and that's what I want. It's the focus of my life, good health and happiness, and hopefully pass all that on to my kids, and, positivity in life, and look at the good things, and just being grateful.
Another thing I love about doing the podcast is inviting people that never would see themselves sitting in a podcast.
Yeah.
There was this gentleman the other day, and he worked he was at a gas station, and he was, the guy, he was wearing the shirt where it's reflective, and he's just cleaning up. He was outside sweeping and stuff. And I'm like, I'm gonna have him on my podcast, because it's being able to hear your experience. Mm-hmm. I'm uplifted, I'm edified, others will be, and in so doing, it gives people an opportunity to share of themselves that may have never even considered doing something like this.
Yeah, and I think we look at our lives and think, we the only one that have been through certain experiences? Are we the only ones that have felt this, whatever it is that we feel, and hearing it from other people and, listening to their experiences makes us all human.
Yeah, it goes back to that. Maybe we were talking about it before the podcast started, but the idea of in Chinese is 无所不知,无所不能, meaning all knowing, all seeing. Right? And the self-expression of you and Lily and me and all these tree, the expression thereof is to me all knowing, all experiencing, right? So when you said that, well, there has never been an experience or a biological, emotional, spiritual experience that's ever been like yours.
Yeah.
It's divinely unique. Mm-hmm. It's never been before. And we could say the same thing about everything, everyone, right? All knowing, all seeing, all experiencing. Well, wouldn't it be beautiful and wonderful and actually quite exciting to hear this experience that we call Rochelle Ekins, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's do that, because then it gives the voice, the opportunity to share. And it fascinates me. I love the whole idea of celebrating someone's uniqueness, because I see it as never happening before. And in the moment that happens, to celebrate my uniqueness in concert with your uniqueness, do you see the music of humanity?
Yeah.
Do you see the perfection in the process?
Yeah, I do. And it's interesting too, because we all, like so many people, and me, I'm guilty of that too, of wanting to be like other people and wanting to, instead of like celebrating each other's uniqueness or weirdness, we could say that,
it's wonderful. Yeah.
They're so weird. Are they weird? They're unique. Yeah. We all have our weirdness. And
what a great word.
Yeah.
Weirdness is wonderful. Maybe we should get shirts. Weirdness hats, right? Weirdness is
Be proud that you're weird.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah. I do things and say things and see things. I mean, my eyes see things that your beautiful eyes, but your eyes see things I don't see, right? Like, well, what do you see? Mm-hmm. What do you feel? What have you learned?
And our experiences that we've all lived make us that unique,
Mm-hmm. And then what does it do for the relationships that we've or had that sort of didn't work out, so to speak? What does it do to them?
Well,
if you see the uniqueness in Wade, because you see the uniqueness in you, what does that do towards your feelings for him?
I mean, we wouldn't experience and be where we're at today if we hadn't experienced those unique times, those unique.
And you share that you see him in gratitude. Mm-hmm. Forgiveness is just self-evident, like that.
Yeah.
Connection and healing. It doesn't mean we're going to be married again.
Right.
But I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so grateful.
Yeah.
You showed up in my life where we created this thing.
Yeah.
And the ups and downs of it all. And gratitude just spills out.
Yeah, because I think about like how much work I've done, how much healing I've done for childhood wounds, and had I not been with him and experienced what I experienced and then gone down the journey after I got divorced, would I have healed and done the things that I've done? Where would I be? All the questions come up. So, yeah, very grateful.
Yeah, it's this beautiful self-expression of your life.
Yeah.
And to me, that is as much divine as anything is divine, whatever even that means. I like the word divine because it implies, okay, I'm going to dive in, D-I-V-E, I'm going to dive into my experience. And I'll see what happens, And it does give me peace when life lives, right? When some people call it the dark night of the soul or whatever it's called,
Yeah.
self-doubt, fear. I'm like, okay, what is in this for me here? Is it what do I get to learn?
Yeah.
How does it expand my love for somebody, or expand some possibilities, or because otherwise I know where I've been with that sort of thing, where I know my pattern, my pattern, and when I have these conversations with people like you, it's like, oh yeah, that's what inspiration means to me. It's like your experience, and when you share it with others, it actually reminds me of me in my own experience. I'm like, oh, I hear what she's saying, and I get it, and it's like, oh, okay, this is in my life right in this thing, and what am I going to do with it, And so that's where, like, resilience you spoke of, and trust and faith and all of it. It comes full circle into, like, okay, here's another one. It's like, have you ever felt like life's knocked you on your ass, and how did this just show up again, or this thing's happening right now? And before, it was difficult to get up off the mat, right? Would you say now that you've had some of these experiences, and you're learning so much about yourself, it's easier to get up off the mat?
Yeah. Because I've know what I've been through, and I know what I can do and what I'm capable of, and overcoming those limited beliefs. So
how do so there's a lot of folks out there, we're all in this search mode. What would you say to people when it comes to getting up off the ground when they've been knocked down so many times?
I don't know. I mean, go inward. Go inward. That's what I do.
Isn't it interesting how the mind or the brain wants to go outward and find the answer, but so you go within.
Yeah.
And what have you found within you?
Strength, belief, love, but really that I can do way more and overcome more than what I think, than what my mind thinks. Yeah.
Yeah. And in going within, we talked about Dr. Joe earlier again, Dr. Dispenza, which great stuff. But the allowance of the self-expression within, right? The genetic expression, the metabolic expression, the spiritual expression, the expression, right? And it's like, oh. And is that more of just an allowing experience? It flows. It's like water, right? It flows out of you. Yes. Instead of attempting to get the water to flow into you.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it just flows out of me. Yeah.
You got to get out of your own way.
Yeah.
Get in the flow. I don't know.
So go inward. Is that a constant process for you? Like, oh, okay, life's lifing. There's all these, we call it around here the world of the 10,000 things. It's like all this stuff is happening. You got business, and you got finances, and you got cars, and you got relationships, and all the things come. But your wisdom says when those things come,
after I get my ego out of the way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You remember what Dr. Dyer used to call ego?
I can't remember.
EGO.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
Dr. Dyer's coming up a lot today.
Yeah, I love him.
He would say, just remember, ego, EGO stands for edging God out. Remember that? Oh, yeah. When my ego's in the way, God is not present.
Yeah.
But when I fall into faith, trust, I know that I know, God is always present, right? And whatever that is, right? That expression of the divine,
Yeah.
the perfect, I don't know. I love these conversations because it actually becomes really simple. I breathe air in and out, and God takes care of the rest.
Yeah.
And along the way, and there's some choices, and when the choice is not wise, I know where I used to, when you make an unwise choice, did you ever find yourself just sort of groveling in your stupidity?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've all done that.
Plenty of times.
But now wisdom says, oh, if I make that choice based on my experience, this may happen. But now I can make this choice with wisdom and get a completely different outcome.
Yeah.
That's listening from within, huh?
Yeah. It's something I have to work on daily.
Yeah.
Remind myself daily.
Yeah. And it's like, then you hear these phrases over time. As growing up, my dad was a pastor and up in Oregon, and I love him. But we had Bible school and all these different things my whole life, and I'd hear all these phrases. And there was one I'll never forget. The song of the heart is a prayer unto me. Have you ever heard that? Mm-mm. My dad would always say it's like, because we do lots of singing, and we had Bible camp, and we'd go to all these things, and he's always say, "Daughter, a song of the heart is a prayer unto me." I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, what is he? I would hear that. He'd say that, and I'm like, so he'd sing or he'd hum and he'd whistle a lot. I'm like, oh, he's just, whatever, Dad. And he, but then as I've kind of gone through my experience of self-expression called life, I'm like, oh, the song of the heart, when speaking from the heart, speaking from self-love, is musical. And so is a prayer unto me. In so doing, it's a prayer unto Creator, whatever that is. It's a prayer. It's like, well, why do we sing to our trees? I do. I hum to them. Because there's a feeling, there's an experience, a song of my heart.
The frequency of
it's a frequent
that.
Yeah. You see, and so I'm sharing this with you because what you're describing to me today in your life is music. It's like the song of your heart sharing today is a prayer.
Yeah,
it's like, thank you. Like, well, how brave, how courageous is it to come on a silly little podcast called Two Thumbs Up and share of oneself? That's what I want. Who knows what guests we'll have on, but I love guests that come on we're just normal folk having amazing experiences.
Yeah.
So I want to have my buddy over here that works at the gas station to come on. I'm like, hey, I don't know if you've ever had any friends that have spent any significant time in jail. Have you?
Yeah.
They're some of the most interesting folks there is. I have a buddy, and I won't share too much of his story, but I have asked him to come on just because his story is incredible. I find him so interesting. Those are the type of folks I'd like, hey, tell us, what's going on with you?
Yeah, those are my favorite conversations with people, are just deep diving, and like I love people. I love to get to know people and hear their story. That's my favorite thing.
And the people that have walked some of the toughest roads.
It's so inspiring.
Yeah, by some of the silliest choices they made, right? I got this story. So I learned some things a number of years ago at Lake Powell, and I had an experience and met some really interesting people. And when I was in where I was meeting these people, and I'm being very vague, but incredible. A guy I met Okay. I did. I was. I don't know if I should.
Give it
Okay,
to us.
so we're Lake Powell, boating, beers and boats, right? And I got pulled over, and I blew a .089, and this changed my life because I don't drink anymore at all.
Yeah.
I blew a .089, and the beautiful ranger decided, hey, come spend the night over here in this jail cell. And so I'm like, scared out of my mind and just like kicking myself like crazy because I know better. And the last thing I'd ever want to do is be driving my boat and make a mistake or hit a rock or harm, it's just horror. And so I beat myself up for so long about this. And then, part of the paying for that and going through that, I got to spend another 24 hours in the Coconino County Jail. So this is years ago. This is 2012, I believe. 2012. And how am I telling you this story, Rochelle?
I want to hear. I've never heard this one.
I get, go down to Coconino County. And I'm in jail for 24 more hours. So I spent 15 hours in Page, and then I had to go down and, do this thing. And Lake Powell's a federal waterway. So it was a federal misdemeanor. So it's like, it's not like, they're going to get your shit together, Todd, right? Mm-hmm. So I go down there, spend some time, and I'm sitting there, and I walk in, I'm just feeling like I'm telling this story. So Melanie, so what we're gonna do is, Melanie, she comes down to Flagstaff with me because it's in Flagstaff, and she's like, okay, you're gonna go spend the 24 hours you got to spend in jail, and then we'll leave tomorrow and we'll go down to Scottsdale and we'll spend a few days just getting out of town, right? So we made this stop in Flagstaff. I spent 24 hours in Coconino County. She went shopping and stayed at a hotel. And I get out the next day. So anyway, nonetheless, I go in there and I got to get checked into the jail, right? And I'm sitting there, and she's sitting there on the little bench by me, and time goes by, like 30 minutes. I'm like, go up to the front lady. I'm like, hey, I've been here for this long, and I was supposed to be checked in by this time. She's like, oh, your time started when you got here. I'm like, okay, I'll just sit here on this little bench for the next 24 hours, right? Well, that didn't happen. So I end up, they come in, get me, right? Walk back, the classic, cuffed, all of it. Cavity search, red jumpsuit. I made the mistake of getting one too short between my body and my self. Anyway, horrible the whole time. I mean, you don't want to be in jail with male camel toe, trust me. So that's terrible.
Moose knuckles.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, moose knuckles. And so anyway, I'm sitting there. They give you a blanket and whatever. So I go in there, I'm in this pod with all these 30 other guys. I walk in there terrified.
Yeah,
literally.
I bet.
And I find this bunk way over in the corner up against the wall, just sit on it. And I'm sitting there for, I don't know how long, right? And there's a guy over there, his name, no, I won't tell you his name, but he's this guy doesn't really fit in here, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so he comes over, because he could tell I was miserable. He's like, you okay? Mm-hmm. I said, no. I'm in jail. He's like, I know. And we start talking, and he starts telling me his story. We have one of these, love, this type of conversation. Mm-hmm. And we talked, and we talked, and we talked, and we talked. And we start laughing, and then we start crying. And then for long, we're just buddies. And the first meal comes in, right? Jail food. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be interesting. Because I'm not going to eat a thing, nor am I going to use the restroom for 24 hours. I already figured it out, right? So the food comes. We have to go up to this little door, and they put your food in. And so we go sit in the middle tables, and I'm eating. And we're just still eating, and the tray goes, and everything go back. And him and I, then we start playing cards and whatever. And he tells me his whole story. But the second meal comes. And I didn't realize I was supposed to keep my spork from the first meal. And so I'm over here trying to eat my beans with my hot dog thing with no, and he's eating and eating. And all of a sudden, he goes over, washes off his spork, and he brings it back to me. He's like, you use my spork. If you don't know what a spork is, it's a spoon-fork combo. Mm-hmm. And I will never forget it. In that moment, I knew God had sent me a friendly angel. And this angel was up against 7 years in the federal penitentiary for drugs and different things. But he changed my life. I'll never forget his kindness, his laughter, his I got you, brother thing when I was in the depths of hell. I was there for 24 hours. And so for the next 7 years, him and I wrote together. And he, it's phenomenal. And I tell you, I don't know, I'm just telling you the story because it reminds me of why I love these podcasts. If in many ways that was the first podcast for me, was my conversation with him in the jail that day. And one of the darkest moments of my life became full of light and possibility and healing and trust and recognizing that no matter what comes, there's always angels.
Yeah.
And they may be up against something way bigger than you're up against.
Yeah.
So it's super inspiring to me because it's like, thank you, God.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank me. Thank all that is for this thing we call life and the biological expression of possible.
Yeah.
And what you've been through with your health and your commitment to yourself and your self-love. And it's, to me, it gives me great compassion for all of humanity. And in so doing, my experience of love, whatever that is, expands. And because of these type of conversations, I see it everywhere. And it makes me grateful that something loves me.
Yeah. One thing that I've learned over the last, 2-3 years in, this spiritual journey that I've been on is, the more I heal, I can't do surface level conversations with people so much. But I could deep dive all day long into a conversation like what you had with the other inmate and
to dive in
like this. Yeah. That's right. So
yeah,
I love that. And that's part of what I love about getting to know people and not just like, hey, how you doing? How's your day? It's what makes you who you are and hearing their story.
Yeah. It's the greatest, huh?
Yeah. I love it.
Well, hey, love. See?
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We go wherever we go.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very grateful for your openness, your willingness, your vulnerability, sharing of yourself, giving yourself voice because you matter. Your experience matters. And I have this feeling, whatever it is, that when it's spoken, it is written. Mm-hmm. It is written in the possibilities. It ripples. Yeah. It flows. It is what is created from the expression, from the song of the heart. Mm-hmm. Is a prayer unto me.
I love that.
So my dad, I don't know, he came up today in the podcast too. I mean, I learned so much from him. So he hangs around.
Good.
He's always around.
That's good.
Loves riding in my truck with me, listening to Jason Aldean.
Nice.
Yeah. He passed in 2019. So anyway, love you, Dad. Anyway, Rochelle, love you. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll have you back. We'd love to see where you go from here. All the wonderful things you are learning
Yeah.
about you. So,
Right.
okay.
It's been a good journey.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, we love you. Oh, there you are over there on that camera. Thank you. 2 thumbs up. And yeah, come on the show. We'll see. Okay, love you. Thanks.
2 thumbs up for making it this far.